Oh, Reddit, known as the front page of the internet. It's like a huge maze with different sections called subreddits, where people come together to talk about everything from adorable kittens to deep thoughts about life. It's a wild and crazy place where you can find groups of people debating about the best way to eat pineapple pizza, whilst others passionately argue whether the earth is flat or shaped like a cosmic pancake. Hidden in the depths are the shady and mysterious corners. These secret spots hold the secrets of sketchy life hacks and questionable advice. Here, the idea of staying anonymous gives people the courage to spill their deepest secrets, ask for help with clingy socks, or ponder mind-boggling questions like, what if our pets are secretly planning to take over the world? Hi folks, I'm Johnny and welcome to The Oddest. Unravelling the crazy web of the Lake City quiet pills is like attempting to solve a Rubik's Cube underwater, blindfolded whilst trying to juggle pineapples. Some secret corners of the internet are home to subreddits that only a chosen few can access. Among them, there are a few examples that dabbled in activities that were both illegal and morally wrong. One notorious example was the r/jailbait subreddit. It displayed pictures of models, actresses and adult movie stars who looked underage, even though they were legally adults. The content pushed the limits of what was considered to be acceptable, tiptoeing dangerously close to exploiting children. As a result, the subreddit was rightfully shut down when it gained significant media attention, including a segment by Anderson Cooper on CNN back in 2012. Nevertheless, the r/jailbait subreddit had managed to amass thousands of followers in the years leading up to its closure. One of the followers in this online community was a user who went by the username Religion of Peace. For those who may not be familiar, moderators are like guardians who maintain order and handle conflicts within a subreddit. Religion of Peace took on the role of a moderator for the jailbait subreddit, which meant that they had a lot of control. However, being a moderator also meant that they had to spend a significant amount of waking hours on the internet. This commitment was something that they willingly embraced. You see, Religion of Peace actively participated on Reddit, regularly joining discussions and leaving comments throughout the day. This user would visit various subreddits, including those discussing politics and stuff, often getting into heated arguments with those users he would call spammers. Essentially, Religion of Peace resembled a grumpy, creepy uncle who spent excessive time fixating on young girls and insisting that others just stay off of his virtual turf. Apart from their distasteful behaviour, which, though it was unpleasant, it was not necessarily against the law, Religion of Peace exhibited an unexpected level of knowledge in diverse military topics. They demonstrated familiarity with violence, going as far as discussing specific types of piano wire that could be used for harmful purposes. While it's possible that this user, like many others online, was simply making exaggerated claims, there remained a possibility that they had genuine experience in these matters. Their posts contained a combination of relevant information, forming a somewhat coherent storyline. Throughout this user's 2-year adventure on Reddit, they often shared a website cleverly disguised as This Old Guy's Image Host. Given their position as a moderator of the unsettling jailbait subreddit, it comes as no shock that numerous images on this site were of a sexual nature. However, the website's peculiar name, Lake City Quiet Pills, well, this captivated people's curiosity, suggesting a deeper mystery surrounding this user. This unusual term was rarely encountered and appeared unrelated to the explicit content that it displayed. Interestingly, this website wasn't just an online venture for this Reddit user. It was a particular phrase that they used on multiple occasions. And one of their final comments, Religion of Peace, stated,
"I can think of any number of criminal organizations that would benefit from a dose of Lake City quiet pills."
Little did anyone know this website and its strange expression would take armchair investigators and Reddit sleuths on a captivating journey through one of the most bizarre internet mysteries of our time. This is the tale of the Lake City Quiet Pills. Back in December of 2007, the user Religion of Peace created their Reddit account, establishing themselves as an early adopter of the site before it gained widespread popularity. Religion of Peace embodied the classic image of an elderly individual navigating the online world. What made them intriguing was their wholehearted acceptance of their age, openly referring to themselves as an old man without a trace of irony. Surprisingly, they insisted on being in their late 70s, proudly stating their birth year as 1930. Alongside their persistent grievances about spammers, this user boasted an extraordinary military background. They shared a post claiming to have enlisted in the US military at the young age of 14, emphasising their physical maturity compared to that of their peers. In one instance, they even mentioned their presence during the Battle of Normandy, responding to another user's question with these words:
I was there, but I was working with 40mm cannon shells on a troop ship. It wasn't until I went to Jerusalem in '47 that I experienced any actual combat situations. It was a thrilling time to be alive, engaging in the food fight.
You might be wondering how it was possible for a teenager of 14 to enlist during World War II. To be fair, I asked myself the same question, but I didn't find a definitive answer. Nevertheless, Religion of Peace continued to make assertions about their military experiences, referencing their service during World War II and beyond.
I served in the Navy until '45. I didn't witness any land combat until Palestine in '47, where I witnessed it firsthand from both sides. And it continued until I grew too old.
Religion of Peace claimed to have engaged in military-related activities for several decades after World War II. They retired from the military in 1987 and transitioned to a job as a tech writer, enjoying the lack of physical exertion. While moderating the controversial jailbait subreddit, they also actively participated in other subreddits. They shared their experiences attending Led Zeppelin concerts and expressed criticism about the timeline of the CIA's assassination program. Furthermore, in one of their comments, Religion of Peace mentioned iron keys. These are encrypted hard drives, often favoured by intelligence operatives or individuals with sensitive information that they wish to keep hidden. We'll come back to this later. This user stayed active on Reddit for over a year, posting and commenting, but didn't gain much popularity. They became a moderator for this controversial jailbait subreddit and directed others to a website which they were called lakecityquietpills.com. This site stored edgy images, including explicit content, and people used it to share similar content from Reddit's darker side. Everything changed abruptly though. On July 17, 2009, that's when Religion of Peace, the user we've been talking about, made their final comment on Reddit. True to their usual style, the comment expressed their annoyance with spammers. Later that same day, a new Reddit account suddenly appeared. The username was 2-6, or simply 26. Approximately 13 hours after Religion of Peace's last comment, 26 made its first and only post. This post was titled, "The End of Religion of Peace. He died today," and it included the following passage.
I'm the person who provided Religion of Peace the space for that old guy's image host. Milo died today. He was 79 years old. He died at his desk looking at your site. Milo was a mean old fucker, mean and onery. He hooked me up with my first gig when I got out of the army. I didn't like finding him like that. Milo don't have any living relatives and no real friends, and other than his landlady and a few people where he worked, he didn't talk to anyone about much of anything. Me, he just tolerated. As I said, he was mean. I think he used that as a shield to keep people away from him. Milo thought God was some kind of con game thought up by some lazy sons of bitches who didn't want to work every day. So he's going into the fire on Monday without a service, just like he wanted. I'm planning to dump his ashes in the woods in PA near where he was born. Can't put them right there because there's a mall there now. I gave the girl next door his raggedy old cat and most of his books. His computers and tronic shit he tagged for the disabled vets and VVA. All the rest of the stuff is for the Salvation Army. All those years and everything he owned fits in the trunk of my car. I don't know what else to say. I'll miss him. Miserable bastard.
Despite several spelling and grammar mistakes, this post stirred up strong emotions among many Redditors who explored Religion of Peace's previous posts. They focused on his war stories and his curt and irritable reactions to suspected spammers and trolls. 26, the user who first shared the news of his death, only responded to a few of these comments. When someone claimed it was just all a hoax, 26 replied with the following.
You are an ass. Milo was my friend and I was taking him to dinner on Friday. He worked at home most days. I guess I ought to call his manager, so thanks for that. I don't know why he liked this stuff.
The previous comment appeared to express a sentiment directed at the Reddit community as a whole. It conveyed a perception of Reddit as an odd, occasionally hostile and perhaps dull place. Reddit is not dull. A couple of days later, on July 19th, 26 made a return to Reddit and discovered that others had expressed their digital condolences to Religion of Peace, whom they affectionately referred to as Milo.
God damn. I didn't know so many people could like him that didn't sling a gun with him. Thank you. So I'm out of here now. I don't do this stuff like you and Milo. Take care. Keep the faith.
The Reddit account 26 would only make one more comment, which occurred 2 days later on July 21st, 2009. This comment was brief, simple, and straight to the point.
For those who are interested, this is where Milo is now.
Accompanying the comment was a link to Google Maps, pinpointing an area near Round Top and Lake Heritage, Pennsylvania, situated southeast of Gettysburg. The exact location was near a shopping mall that 26 claimed was constructed on land that was once owned by Religion of Peace's family, or Milo's family. Presumably, this was the intended location for scattering Milo's ashes. Now, this is where the story should end, with the passing of a Reddit user and the subsequent announcement. However, little did anyone else know that this was merely the beginning of a much more intricate and bewildering tale. As users delved deeper into the breadcrumbs left by both Religion of Peace and the new account 26, they realised that there was a connection between them, although its nature remained uncertain at the time. Over the following months, Redditors embarked on a journey of unravelling a narrative that proved to be as perplexing as it was captivating. Right, so I'm going to do my best to shed some light on all the events that unfolded, but be warned, it's insane. This story takes you down a mental rabbit hole, and I'm surprised it's not been made into a movie. Maybe you should pause this video and just go and grab a cup of tea. While we now understand the story of Reddit user Religion of Peace, there's still an air of mystery surrounding his friend, the peculiar 26, who seemingly created a Reddit account just to announce Milo's death. Curious Reddit users took on a digital investigation and stumbled upon a username reminiscent of 26, Angel26, on a website called Fark. Fark, a predecessor to platforms like Reddit and Dig, hosted discussions and interactions of a similar nature. It seemed that this person had been an active participant on Fark since as early as 2001. What made this truly bizarre, however, was that their listed email address on Fark was angel26@lakecityquietpills.com. There it is again, lakecityquietpills.com. Wonder what that's all about. On the Fark platform, the user Angel26 predominantly engaged in discussions related to firearms, ammunition and weaponry, much like Religion of Peace. Their comments often reflected a background in military service, frequently touching upon themes of violence and shooting. Each comment was accompanied by a motto, a common practice in the early days of online forums. Angel26's motto read, "Dispensing Lake City quiet pills to lousy in need of permanent rest since 1968. Further exploration of the internet landscape revealed instances of a user by the name Angel26 on various websites. Yahoo Answers, where they displayed an interest in crafts and DIY projects. Websites dedicated to ZBrush, a digital sculpting tool that emerged in 1999, suggesting a potential proficiency in artistic technology. Full disclosure here, I'm a huge fan of ZBrush, as in a previous life, I was a wee bit of a 3D artist. Additionally, on Dig, the direct precursor to Reddit, a post made under the username Angel26 was signed by another user, religion of peace. The puzzle pieces were aligning, suggesting that 26 and Angel 26 are the same person. Their consistent spelling and grammar mistakes across accounts hinted at this deception. Some users doubted Religion of Peace's death, thinking that it might be a publicity stunt for the LakeCityQuietPills.com website. The website gained more attention as curious individuals explored his Reddit history and used it to host their own images. But as tech-savvy individuals dug deeper into the site, they started exploring its hidden code, the backbone of any website. Within those lines of code, curious Redditors stumbled upon a concealed message that dated back months and even years. These messages revealed a strange narrative that unfolded behind this internet drama. Beneath its seemingly harmless appearance, LakeCityQuietPills.com was far more than just an image hosting site filled with explicit content. Behind its not safe for work front, something entirely different was lurking. Embedded in the website's HTML code was a motto that struck a chilling chord of familiarity, dispensing Lake City Quiet Pills to lousy in need of permanent rest since 1968. Below this motto, a jumble of information was scattered, featuring names and acronyms.
Shade is maintaining the calendar and access to the file dump. Angel has the job postings for EU and Asia. We aren't sending anyone to ME. No one. Don't ask for listings.
Shade. That's a new name to consider. However, Angel bears a striking resemblance to Angel 26, also known as Reddit user 26. It's relatively straightforward to decipher EU as Europe and Asia, but the meaning of ME has been the subject of many debates. Many speculate that it refers to the Middle East, which will soon become clearer. Hidden within the depths of the website's HTML code was secretive messages, deliberately concealed from public eye. These messages, revealing individuals with specific knowledge, appeared at the top of the code. However, what followed resembled job descriptions that outlined requirements disturbingly similar to tasks associated with mercenaries or hired assassins. I'm serious. Take a look at this.
Need formed group 810. Single op, deliv bonus. Gentleman's agreement insurance. Immediate need. 4 Italian Spanish speakers. No Euro WW must be bondable.
These snippets offer just a glimpse of the numerous similar posts concealed within LakeCityQuietPills.com's HTML code. While they didn't explicitly mention mercenaries or assassins, they strongly hinted at a connection to military contractors. It's possible that they referred to defence contractors or specialised bodyguards. These examples represent only a fraction of the hidden postings within this website's code. Some acronyms in these listings are relatively easy to decipher, like CCW, which indicates a concealed carry weapon permit. However, others sparked debate and speculation. For instance, the WW had varying interpretations. Some believed it referred to wants or warrants in specific regions like the US or Mexico. Others argued that it stood for wet work, a term that you can probably figure out the meaning of. Murder. Before long, intrigued Reddit users began sharing their discoveries of this peculiar HTML code with others, questioning if it seemed as unusual to them as it did to the original observers. Months had passed since Religion of Peace's passing on Reddit, but now users started seriously considering his involvement in a website that potentially served as a job board for hitmen, assassins, military contractors, black ops, or whatever term one prefers to use for these such activities. So what does quiet pills mean? Well, it turns out a few Redditors fancied themselves like Sherlock Holmes and did a little digging. Reddit users soon discovered a connection to the government-owned Lake City ammunition plant in Independence, Missouri. Established back in 1941 by Remington Arms, it produces and tests small arms for the US military. This plant operates continuously, supplying nearly 1.4 billion rounds of ammunition annually, making it the largest provider to the US Armed Forces. A simple Google search for Lake City reveals the prominence of this ammunition plant. So basically, it was established that a quiet pill is lingo for a bullet. In the months after the reported death of this Reddit user Religion of Peace, The hidden messages within the website's HTML code continued to appear. Among these messages was one that stood out, dated on the same day the news of his death was announced, July 17th, 2009. The identity of the message's author remained a mystery.
I'm sorry to tell you that old Milo died yesterday. He went quiet and calm, not like we all figured. I gave that fat mangy cat of his to the little girl next. No services or nothing, you know, Milo. I'm taking his ashes back to where his farm was, close to it anyway. There's a mall where his place was. So hoist a few for the old man. Remember what he said? Keep the faith with the man who's got your back.
From the slight misspellings in his post, it's reasonable to infer that Angel26, also known briefly as 26, authored this post. Over the subsequent months, this individual would share a few more posts characterised by similar spelling errors. Then, on September 30th, 2009, more than 2 months later, this person made another post.
For those who have asked, I bricked Milo's iron key the same day. All is well.
The intention behind this message becomes quite evident. An iron key refers to an encrypted hard drive, and bricking a device means rendering it completely useless, destroying any information that's stored on it. By concluding with all is well, the user implies that Milo's hard drive, potentially holding incriminating information, has been successfully destroyed. On November 14th, 2009, Angel26 posted again with an intriguing message.
Milo's will cleared probate. Surprise! Milo was loaded. Email Shade if we sent you out in 2005 to 2009. Shade will have checks cut for you. Amount is by how many times, not by pay total. Small share is 3 to 4K.
Well, it appears that Milo, whoever they were, left behind some savings, which this mysterious person was now distributing to their associates. Deep within the code of this adult website, a network of individuals connected between 2005 and 2009 was discovered. A network deserving of inheritances ranging anything from $3,000 to $4,000. Several months passed with little else revealed on the site. However, in January of 2010, Angel26 returned with an intriguing announcement.
Happy New Year, everyone. We're having a birthday party for the old man on the 19th. Party starts at 1500 at the usual. Send your RSVP to Shade. FYI, we're booking a room for 3 days for anyone coming from out of area, and overnight for locals. Come hoist one for Dutch Milo.
At first glance, this post on lakecityquietpills.com seems innocent enough, almost like a family gathering to celebrate the life of someone who brought people together. However, over the years, many have interpreted this message differently. Since the hidden message appeared in the website's code, some have tried to link this gathering, this so-called party, to one of the most intricate assassinations of the past century. Mahmoud Al-Mabhouh, born in 1960 in a Gaza Strip refugee camp, joined the Muslim Brotherhood in his teenage years. After a brief prison term, he became associated with Hamas, working his way up the ranks over 25 years. Al-Mabhouh claimed responsibility for killing 2 Israeli soldiers back in 1989, making him a top target for Israel. Despite his imprisonment and being targeted by intelligence agencies, he held a crucial role in logistics and weapons procurement for Hamas. He also played a key part in the alliance between Hamas and Iran's Revolutionary Guards. Al-Mabhouh faced multiple assassination attempts in the late 2000s. In a reported assassination attempt on Mahmoud Al-Mabhouh's life, a skilled team tried to poison him in Dubai in November of 2009. The exact method used remains unknown, but it is suspected that the toxin was administered through a drink or items in his hotel room. Al-Mabhouh fell ill, but he made a full recovery without realising that he had actually been poisoned. Unaware of this attempted assassination, Al-Mabhouh continued his life, taking security precautions and travelling with a team of guards under false identities. However, his computer system had been compromised by a Trojan horse, giving unauthorised access to his activities. So, in early January of 2010, Al-Mabhouh booked a trip to Dubai, unaware of this hacker breach. On this special trip, he made the decision not to bring his usual bodyguards along with him. They were scheduled to join him a day later, so for the next 24 hours, Al-Mabhouh would be alone in a foreign place, feeling isolated and unprotected. Little did he know, someone who had insider knowledge had started making their own travel plans. On January 19, 2010, Mahmoud Al-Mabhouh landed in Dubai. a huge city and the economic centre of the United Arab Emirates. He travelled in disguise, using a fake identity and intentionally leaving his security guards behind. Meanwhile, earlier on in the same day, a secret group of people had also arrived in Dubai. They moved around the city discreetly, using fake names and passports. Their mission was to closely watch and track every move that Al-Mabhouh made. In charge of this operation were three main coordinators, each pretending to be someone else: Gail Folliard, Kevin Deveron, and Peter Elvinger. They had carefully planned and executed at least 5 previous trips to Dubai, most likely gathering information and doing reconnaissance. At exactly 1500 hours local time, Mahmoud Al-Mabhouh stepped foot on Dubai soil. Unbeknownst to him, a team of agents started secretly following his every step. Men and women blended in with the busy crowd at the airport, discreetly tailing Al-Mabhouh as he took a taxi and finally arrived at the hotel where he was booked to stay. At the same time, over half a dozen operatives had checked into various other hotels in the region. See, these hotels were all ones that Al-Mabhouh had checked into on previous trips, so it seems like they were just covering all the bases. Security cameras captured evidence of around a dozen operatives discreetly following him from a distance. They would briefly enter restrooms to change their appearance. In the hotel lobby, 2 men in tennis attire observed Al-Mabhouh. One operative stayed in the lobby, relaying information, while the rest converged in nearby hotels. Another person in tennis clothes trailed Al-Mabhouh to room 230, but acted inconspicuously, waiting for the right time to act. Now that they knew the target's room number, one of the mission leaders, using the fake name Peter Elvinger, makes a call from the hotel's business centre. He asks for the room right across from Al-Mabhouh, choosing room 237 as their base of operations. Soon, the rest of the team starts gathering in that room. A little while later, Mahmoud Al-Mabhouh leaves his room and goes to a nearby mall. The surveillance on him becomes spotty, but a few unknown operatives keep an eye on him. People start speculating that he might be meeting locals, but nothing is confirmed. In the meantime, the team in room 237 sees this as an opportunity to start hacking the electronic lock of Al-Mabhouh's room, figuring out a discreet way to get inside. All of this gets caught on the security cameras. When another hotel guest comes out of an elevator nearby, one of the operatives skillfully tries to distract him while the others keep working on the lock. They quickly overcome the security measures and manage to get access to Al-Mabhouh's room without raising any suspicion. At around 8:30 PM, Al-Mabhouh returns to his room, completely oblivious to the lurking danger. The door unlocks seamlessly, allowing him to enter, entirely unaware of the dangers that are hiding inside. Shortly after, the operatives in room 230 return to room 237. They swiftly leave the hotel one by one, disappearing across the globe on flights to various destinations. Meanwhile, Al-Mabhouh remains in his room, unaware of the unfolding events. The following morning, his lifeless body is discovered and an autopsy reveals that he was meticulously assassinated. Al-Mabhouh was injected with a paralysing agent, electrocuted and suffocated with a pillow. The assassins had made it appear as if it was a natural death, allowing them to escape undetected. Dubai officials analysed security camera footage to track a group of around a dozen operatives involved in this assassination. These operatives had prior visits to Dubai, staying in hotels where the victim had stayed before. They used counterfeit passports from Western countries and communicated with an Austrian telephone number. Some operatives paid in cash, whilst others used prepaid credit cards linked to a US brand. Suspicions arose about Israel's potential involvement due to the victim's history and connections.
These are the faces of the 11 suspects wanted in connection with the assassination of a senior Hamas commander. Among them, 6 British and 3 Irish passport holders. The gang also includes a woman. Now, these photographs have been passed to Interpol to lead an international hunt.
The identity of the operatives involved in the assassination of Mahmoud Al-Mabhouh remains a mystery to this day. Despite their faces being widely circulated in the international media, these operatives, estimated to be between 18 and 28 in number, have vanished without a trace. After the crime, 2 Palestinian men in Jordan were arrested for assisting the operatives, but their charges and punishment remained undisclosed. Another man, Brodsky, was arrested in Poland, but later released on bail, leaving many questions unanswered. Despite being one of the most high-profile assassinations in recent history, the true identities and motives of those involved remain shrouded in mystery. While there are strong speculations regarding the individuals responsible, the actual perpetrators who executed this complex operation remain strange figures. So, you might be watching this wondering why you just heard all that. What does an assassination in Dubai have to do with a random Redditor and a creepy old website? Well, now that I've shared most of what occurred during the assassination of Mahmoud Al-Mabhouh, let's take a step back for a moment, shall we? So, do you remember when I mentioned the hidden HTML code on the Lake City Quiet Pills website? There was a message sent out on January 12, 2010, just about a week before the assassination unfolded in Dubai. This message invited people to a birthday celebration for Milo, also known as Religion of Peace, the Reddit user who had passed away the previous year. The hidden message in Lake City Quiet Pills code mentioned that the party was scheduled to start around 1500 hours, which coincided with the time when Al-Mabhouh was flying into Dubai. As if that wasn't intriguing enough, another message was sent out the day before the assassination actually occurred. Like the previous messages, this one was also concealed within the website's HTML, and it read as follows.
We got 38 rooms in the Marriott on 46. Shade has the key cards for locals. Pick up at the party. Give your travel name to the desk and that's it. No ID needed since we're covering the bill. Keep the room service under 500, okay? The phones there are not secure. Bus from the hotel leaves at 13:30. Car service vouchers for return trip when you're ready to crash. Don't DUI.
Now, I don't know if this might sound a bit weird, but these instructions for a party are really strange. Like, why would someone care about using a fake name for a birthday bash? And who even worries about phone lines being unsafe? Plus, the last reminder about not driving drunk, well, that just seems like something adults would already know. But if it means getting into legal trouble and making things complicated, then it does start to make sense. Lots of people have tried to figure out what these instructions could actually mean, but the biggest clue comes from the fact that they booked a bunch of hotel rooms. Like, seriously, who needs 38 rooms for a party in just one hotel? And now, after what we found out from the investigation in Dubai, about this whole assassin network renting hotel rooms all over the city, it's starting to make a bit more sense, right? For the next couple of weeks, there was no noticeable activity on the LakeCityQuietPills.com website, at least nothing relevant to this story. The website continued to exist as a photo gallery, primarily featuring explicit images like it did before. However, the messages hidden in the website's code remained unchanged until February 2nd, 2010, approximately 2 weeks later. The post, titled Party Bills, had the following content.
Here is the final for the party. Hotel rooms 48,341. Limo 6,080. Bus 569. Bar bill 18,890. Food 8,030. Dancers 8,300. Misc tips 850. Misc exp 2,840. Med supplies 180. Fat Tommy and Stu are okay too. Total 94,080. You all did Dutch Milo proud. Thanks.
Over the next few months, people involved with the site continued to post the strange hidden job postings from before. This chain of events kept going until around the spring of 2010, about 2 months after Al-Mabhouh was assassinated. It was during this time that curious Redditors started digging into the source code of lakecityquietpills.com and stumbled upon these strange hidden messages. Up until then, everything had been happening in secret, without the public actually knowing. The Redditors who found the source code started sharing links to it on Reddit. Some users focused on trying to decode the hidden meanings behind the different acronyms used, like WW, while others began linking the timing of the posts to important world events. Eventually, some Redditors made connections between the posts in January and the assassination of Al-Mabhouh, sharing their discoveries openly online. But right after this revelation, the code for Lake City Quiet Pills got changed and encrypted. The once easy-to-read messages turned into a frustrating mix of numbers and symbols. When Redditors tried to decipher it, the code got changed again, making it too complicated to translate. Shortly after that, the website was taken down for good, and the new caretakers decided to move to a different hosting platform. The familiar Lake City Quiet Pills website disappeared, leaving behind a captivating mystery. In the years that followed the unravelling of this internet mystery, many people started to think that the Lake City Quiet Pills was just a hoax or an elaborate game. Some argue that it could be a stunt aimed at gaining internet fame for the users involved. However, personally, I find it hard to believe. If their intention was to deceive everyone, it would have required an immense amount of effort to establish numerous internet accounts, make peculiar comments and posts, and so on and so forth. Additionally, shutting down the site immediately after its discovery, well, that just seems a bit counterproductive if their goal was to fool people. It would have taken years to build up all of those elements, only to abruptly end it all. Others have proposed that it resembles an ARG, which stands for Alternate Reality Game. ARGs often employ the internet to create intricate and strange puzzles, hinting at conspiracies or cover-ups. This perspective resonates with me, but it leads us back to the same question. Why would someone dedicate years of their life to constructing a complex puzzle or hoax only to promptly dismantle it once it gains attention? It doesn't seem to make much sense. When someone creates something, they usually want others to see and engage with it. So the true nature of Lake City Quiet Pills remains elusive, leaving us with just more questions. Now, let's consider the possibility that we may have hyped up Lake City Quiet Pills more than necessary. It's quite possible that there were several individuals involved who were simply eccentric. However, the idea that it was all a fabrication or a hoax just doesn't sit well. In my opinion, the most plausible scenario is that the Lake City Quiet Pills served as a website, functioning as a job board for former military personnel. It seems likely that they chose to recruit from within their circle of friends rather than competing with a large pool of applicants. The jobs offered could have been primarily contracting work such as security guards or bodyguard services, which are often in demand by companies and business executives. Since its closure in 2014, LakeCityQuietPills.com has remained offline, and many of the anonymous individuals involved have moved on to other endeavours. When the website was shut down, a significant portion of the hosted images were transferred onto another platform. Over the years, countless individuals have continued their attempts to unravel this mystery, hoping that a hidden clue here or there would provide some answers to this bewildering internet enigma. However, since the website's disappearance, there have been few noteworthy developments. Some have tried to establish connections between the anonymous figures and real people, like the strange Angel26 or 26 on Reddit. A couple of Reddit users speculated that they had identified Shade, the individual allegedly responsible for managing the calendar and controlling access to the file dump, although the accuracy of their findings remains speculative. They named a man called Oscar, who passed away in 2015 as their supposed suspect of being Shade. Others have made it their mission to delve into the history of the central figure in this peculiar story, the Reddit user known as Religion of Peace, whose presumed death set off this entire chain of events. These online detectives have noticed discrepancies in this individual's comments, particularly in terms of the timeline. While they claim to have been born in 1930 and died at the age of 79, curious Redditors stumbled upon a comment from 2007 in which the user stated that they were only 70 years old. As if that wasn't intriguing enough, some Redditors employed uClassify, which is a website that analyses the linguistic patterns of individuals, and it suggested a younger age range for Religion of Peace, placing them somewhere between 36 to 50. This finding, combined with the user's extensive knowledge of intricate computer terminology, modern military tactics and procedures indicates that whoever Religion of Peace truly was, they were likely not 79. If the age discrepancy was a deliberate falsehood, it raises questions about what else may have been fabricated. Perhaps everything we've encountered in this story is part of an elaborate hoax, and by investing our time in it, we may be unwittingly playing into someone else's hands. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. If you enjoy this type of content, then please be sure to subscribe and remember the wee bell to be notified so you don't miss another upload. Right, on that note, I'm away for a cup of tea. Take care of yourselves, folks. Tell someone that you love them. And always remember, no matter what, keep smiling.